Hi guys, welcome back to another week of Go Off Sis. I'm Danielle.
I'm Cassidy.
I'm Lexi.
I'm Ann, the mom.
Wow. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
Good. This is our gift to her
Yes.
to be on the episode.
So don't expect anything else.
That's all right.
No, it's going to be a good episode. It's a little bit different than like our regular episodes. So like we're not going to do our segments this week because we just recorded them earlier today. So I don't have any new content that I've consumed within an hour.
Yeah.
But it's going to be good. So yeah, why don't we start with Mom? We want you to do a little bit of an introduction for yourself. So can you tell us who you are, what you do, and why you like being our mom?
Ooh, happy to. So my name is Ann, and I have been married to their father now for almost 31 years. We met in college, and there's 4 daughters. And I kind of always joke, like, it's amazing that they look so much alike because they have 4 different fathers, which is obviously not true. But that is like the joke that I always say. And people are like, but I am in real estate and been doing that for about almost 10 years now.
Wow.
And I love being their mom. It's just so fun. And we just have a lot of great times. We've been watching like a lot of, what?
Stop staring at me.
We've been watching like these old family videos recently and just remembering all the fun times that we've had throughout the years. And some people question my parenting skills, and that's okay.
Which is mostly Lexi.
I mean, do we tell the mattress serving story?
Right?
Any of the stories. When we watch the home videos, and our cousin David is always like, he's always like, he calls her Boss Ann. So whenever I don't know why, but he's always like, Boss Ann, like someone should have called CPS on you.
Specifically the one with the mattress, for sure.
This was a new one that we just kind of recollected. We kind of had forgotten it. And we had gotten air mattress, blown it up, and it was at the top of the stairs. Cassidy, Lindsay, and Lexi were on it. They were so excited.
But it was a plastic air mattress. There's no sheet on it or anything. So it's obviously very slippery. We're struggling even to stay on it at the beginning of the video. And then mom's like, okay, slide down. And we slide down. The air mattress kind of comes with us, but really we just all slide off the mattress and tumble down the stairs. And then like Lexi lands on top of me. My foot got stuck. And like we get to the bottom of the stairs and I literally start crying. And mom's like, well, I guess you guys didn't do it well enough. You have to do it again. And we're like, literally, you see us all tumble down the stairs.
It's true. Yeah. After looking at after like watching it and looking at it, I was like, like you all were like almost ready to cry. Poor Cassidy. Like I didn't know that your foot literally got stuck in between the spindles on the way down.
Yeah. I wasn't great at communicating either. It's okay.
You just kind of looked up at me with your big brown eyes and I was like, do it again. Do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you were a stay-at-home mom when you were raising us, or
for the most part, I had a jewelry business, so I would work that probably 8 to 10 hours a week, mainly so that I could stay home with you guys and we could just have fun, enjoy life, and
go to Target.
It was a lot. It was a lot to have 4 kids, so
yeah.
Wanted to make sure you were all taken care of.
So I think one of the big questions that our listeners have is, was 4 always the plan?
Right.
That wasn't always a question. You hater, first of all.
Right.
If you've listened to other episodes, apparently I wasn't planned. So.
Well, and then we called mom and asked her, and she didn't really give us an answer.
Yeah.
I don't think there was ever specifically a plan. Like, honestly, if I had to do it over, I might have 5 or 6. So
what?
Yeah.
More Lexi's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
what does that mean?
Why wouldn't I want more of you guys?
Aww.
Seriously.
I know why.
I don't know if we can handle a 5th
podcast, honestly.
She said, I know why.
Yeah. First of all, we only have 4 mic plugs, so we couldn't do more.
They'd be the, what's it called? you know, the Jonas Brothers, the
the bonus
Frankie.
Jonas.
yeah, the
The
Frankie.
bonus Jonas.
Yeah.
What
Someone
you
would
call
have to
the-
get shot.
It would be nice to have a tech sister.
Maybe. Yeah,
Besides
someone
you,
who's, like,
Cassidy.
camera shy.
What?
camera shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone that's sitting over there, like, you know, just listening.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
with like a teleprompter
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back, sure. If I could, honestly, you guys are expensive.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
weddings, college, braces, like clothing.
Which one of us was the most expensive?
Danielle.
Me.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, 'cause
Always
to.
you.
Well, and I had to like get all the stuff too.
Right. You had to get the first stuff.
Yeah.
But if we could never get second stuff for you. It was always like for instance, you wanted to go to camp and you're like, I need all new clothes.
Right.
So I bought into the idea you needed
I had
all
to
new
make an
clothes.
entrance.
So I went and bought her all these like matching little outfits and everything. And I drop her off at camp and everyone's in t-shirts and like shorts. And here Danielle has two-piece matching outfits.
Yeah.
Like adorable.
Yeah.
So-
I haven't changed. I also had like a zebra print suitcase that I walked into camp with. Everyone else had like duffel
I know
bags.
they did. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
I was not expecting you to say Danielle.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just, yeah. Because she always makes it seem like, you know, we're the problem.
Yeah, she makes it seem like she would like. Yeah.
Right.
Never mind.
I think like being the fourth too, just because everything was like worn out by that time, because we did literally pass everything on to the next kid. And by the time it got to you, we just needed all new. So you were probably expensive too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Interesting.
we were happy that we could provide for all of you. So it doesn't matter.
Aw.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I believe that you have some stories prepped for us.
Ooh,
Right?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some fun stories.
So-
I'm excited.
Oh, a note card.
Yeah,
Just had to make
I-
sure, you know, you get my age and you might forget. I just wanted to make sure that we
I don't
did-
think anyone has come prepared for this podcast before.
Okay.
Really?
Our notes?
Okay,
No,
but
we do
like-
sometimes.
Yeah, but like,
We don't do those anymore, really.
No.
We just come in and we're like, all right,
Off the dome.
off the dome, chat for 45 minutes.
me and Danielle learned that from Lexi.
Yeah. everything's
Anytime
off
we
the
remember to
dome.
say off the dome, like within context,
Yeah.
I'm proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys are doing way better with the slang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ever
I
since we
know.
did that one episode.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. We've
It's
been working on it.
yeah, when Cassidy typed op the other day, that was so funny. Like, oh, like you my op, you know, like
yeah.
And Cassidy typed it and she spelled it just what? How did you spell
I
it?
think I did OP.
Yeah, just like OP, but it's like OPP.
So I heard a
Oh.
new slang word.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah,
From
that
where?
I'd like to.
from
Bring-
TikTok?
I think so. But I want to know if you guys have heard of people just saying like, "Oh, you're from Ohio." Like,
Dude, no.
What is
no?
that?
You asked me about this.
You people don't
No.
say that.
No.
What
You're
does it
from
mean?
Ohio.
Well, oh, that's so Ohio. Like, the people are saying.
What does that
this.
mean?
that
like
sounds like
mid?
Michigan slang.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah, it's definitely Michigan slang because Michigan has such a
'Cause we
vendetta
beef with
against
Ohio.
Okay,
But
so but
I
it's
think-
not like a thing.
No.
That, okay.
No. You think people in like Montana are saying that's so Ohio?
Montana of
Yeah,
all
I
the
heard
states.
it was this girl from North Carolina was saying it.
Well,
On what, TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could say like that's so granola. That gives the same vibe.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Granola, Ohio.
All
Sure.
right.
Anyways, go on with your
Okay,
stories.
so these are stories of childhood, some of my favorite memories.
Mm-hmm.
I have one or two for each of you.
Oh,
Yeah,
who would you like to start with?
you.
Okay.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah,
I love having mom here because she could just put Danielle in her place.
It's
Yeah,
true.
for real.
Me and Lexi are just sitting here like,
Yeah, we're too terrified. So
Well, one of my favorite memories of so Danielle. Oh, I have three different things, but I don't know what I'm gonna. So Danielle has always loved music,
Mm-hmm.
and like not the day she was born, but from a small age, like if I wanted to take a shower when you were like one, I would just turn on music. You would like literally just stand at the coffee table and dance the entire time.
while you
Yeah.
were showering,
While I was
she was
showering.
unattended by the
That's-
coffee table
that's
where
how
she could
I
hit
would
her
shower.
I would like bounce, like
You
with
would
my
just
little diaper. I would
bounce.
just
Yeah.
bounce.
Yep, she just bounced. and
Wasn't
she
it
was-
Gloria Estefan
Gloria
that you would play?
Estefan? Yeah. Yep. So that's one of my favorite
I remember
memories.
that. Obviously, you don't.
How would you remember that? You weren't born.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, wasn't saying I remember it, but you were only one.
Right.
But you remember probably the story. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was asking if that's how she knew it.
Yeah. Do you remember
Me?
the actual moment, or do you
No,
remember the
mom
story?
has told me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
I thought you were saying you remember that. And I was like,
No.
what? Okay.
What is your guys' earliest memory?
Ooh.
Do you guys actually know what your earliest memory is?
I've definitely thought about this before.
Mine is being at like a carpet store with you and grandma and grandpa, and they were like chasing me throughout. Like I was like playing in the carpet samples.
I think mine is like we were in Cobblestone Court and I was like eating colorful marshmallows in someone's basement.
Okay.
What an interesting.
So mine was.
At like big long tables.
Interesting.
I used to pretend I was a cat.
Oh.
Okay.
And like, I know this is what we did back in the day. And I'd fall asleep like
now
on
there's
the,
words for that.
but I'd fall asleep like just on a register vent.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like a cat.
Oh,
That was my earliest.
Mom, that's crazy.
I was happy. Why is that crazy?
That's funny.
No. Okay, so mine is I remember Mom giving me a bath, and I remember looking up at her and she was singing to me, and I remember watching her lips.
Oh.
Yeah. No, and I feel like I had to have been very young to remember that because like, you know how babies always stare at your lips?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I was small.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure your
Interesting.
brain only starts holding memories. I think it's like 3 or 2.
Okay, well, thanks for disregarding my memory.
Wow.
So let me go on to the next one. And this is Danielle, I think, was in maybe 5th grade.
Uh-huh.
And Danielle decided she wanted to play basketball.
Oh,
And
I don't like this
Okay,
story.
she's hooping.
I know. Yeah. So Danielle, trying something different, super proud of her. And my brother Todd went to the game with me. Danielle was so bad. But
I
Danielle
hated basketball.
Danielle has such a big heart. Like she literally got the ball and she passed
You're
it.
really bad,
She like
sweetie, but
handed
you're
the
a
ball.
nice
I know,
person.
but she like literally handed the ball to the other team. I was
Dude.
like, "Here, you want this?"
Because they were like all up in my face, like trying to steal the ball. And so I was like, just take it. Like, I don't want
Yeah,
to
she-
deal with
right.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my brother Todd looks at me and he goes, "Perhaps she should never play this game again."
Oh, I hated basketball. Yeah. I love watching basketball.
Yeah.
Did not
and
like
you
playing
are
it.
like good athletically. Just that wasn't your sport.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the wisdom teeth story. When you got your wisdom teeth out and
Oh yeah.
you thought you were Kim Kardashian.
I forgot
You asked if you had Botox, but I couldn't understand you.
Well, you're so numb.
Yeah.
Like you just don't even. You
Well,
can't
you
feel
feel,
yourself.
it feels like a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were just like, did I have Botox? But I couldn't figure it out because I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Right.
Took like 3 turns. But that was just hysterical. Of course, I got to have everything recorded.
and it will be posted on the Go Off Sisters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
perfect. Yeah.
That's funny. Those were good, Mom.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Try not to make them too long.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
No, yeah.
Are you ready, Cassidy?
I think so. I'm
Let me make
nervous.
sure I got my notes here. So
Say one that makes Cassie uncomfortable. I love when Cassie gets uncomfortable.
Me too. When she kind of cringes a little
yeah,
bit.
you can tell. It's my
okay,
favorite.
this one is definitely uncomfortable.
Oh, cool.
So, and I just got reminded of this the other day.
No, I think I know what it is.
Yeah. So when growing up, there was this commercial on TV that would always make Cassidy cry. And she was so little. You were like 6. And you would just be sitting on the couch. I'd be making dinner and I'd look over and you're just crying. And I'm like, and then I'd look at the TV. It was this Panda Bear commercial.
Okay, a polar bear.
Polar bear commercial. And what
Do
was
I
it?
need to tell the story?
Was it, yeah, where they like save the polar bears?
Yes, it was like Save the Polar Bears. It shows them like on the world's smallest iceberg, like one polar bear, and
by
like the
itself.
sun beating down on them.
crying right now.
No. Danielle, like I said, your cry radar is way off lately. Like you do not know when someone's about to cry for real. But what I remember from that is the TV was on in your room and I was by myself in your room.
Okay.
And like the commercial came on and I was just subject to this commercial. And then you come in and I'm crying and you're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, there's this polar bear commercial and this whole thing.
I think that was the first time you saw it because after that you kept seeing it and you would cry every time.
Yeah, it just keeps coming. Like the commercials never stop. Once you see one, you see all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then
But
the
that
other
was
day
so
Danielle was
sweet.
reading this kid's book and there was a stupid page about a polar bear and I started crying again. So anyway, we can move on to the next story.
Wait,
No further questions. or
Can I
comments.
add to that
Yes,
too?
please do.
So that was during the phase of life where you watched our friend Presley during the summers. And I asked Presley the other day, I was like, how was it being at our house during the summers? She was like, do you remember that day where you and I walked by your mom's room and we just saw Cassidy in there uncontrollably crying from a polar bear commercial? That's like what she remembers. She was like, it was so sad.
Yeah. And if that's the worst story you have about me, okay.
It's actually not.
Oh.
So, yeah.
You thought.
So Cassidy growing up was always very particular about just everything.
Interesting.
She
There's a
kind of
word for
had
that as
like
Yeah,
she
since then
had
they've
like
created.
a sensitivity to fabrics and to what do you call them? Not stickers, labels.
Just like sensory things.
Yeah, sensory issues, which was fine.
She gets overstimulated.
Yeah, so
She still does.
it's okay. But that's okay.
I'm
Like
overstimulated right now. Two people on both sides of me. Can't get out.
when they had a 5th grade award ceremony, and so this award ceremony was like best dressed.
What are those called when they give those
Mock
awards?
elections.
Yeah.
It's not
That in
that.
elementary school.
But every
don't
single
know.
kid got an award. And so we were prepping for the evening and I was in the bathroom with Cassidy and I had her hair. I was like, oh, let's do a fun, messy bun. So I had it all on the top of her hair and I had like stuff coming down and I had curled it. It looked so cute. And she looks in the mirror and she's like, I don't like it. And I was like, what do you mean you don't like it? You're adorable. She's like, I don't like it. And so I was like, Cassidy, you look adorable. And she went into her room. Next thing she comes out and her hair is literally straight down. She has her bangs swooped across her forehead, just like pasted against her forehead.
Like greased.
And like she had like wet them down or something.
She's in her emo era.
Yeah,
Don't play.
yeah. And
Did
so
the eyeliner come out?
No, not yet.
Bro, I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, so 5th grade. And so this is how we go to the awards ceremony. I'm like, I'm not going to fight it. Like I've already done it. So we go there. All these awards go on. And finally, Cassidy's award comes. And she gets most creative hair with the straight hair against her forehead.
That is so
It was
funny.
Mom, that was the hairstyle. Like
Yeah, didn't you say
The
you were
slick-
eating?
people always put their hair like across their forehead like it was just what you did.
That was Camp Rock era.
Yeah.
It was in for the times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean,
But the
That
way I
does
had
show
done
how
it
she
was
is.
much more creative.
and you
than
know,
that.
I'm sure one day I'll do a child's hair and they'll take it out and I'll be like, it's so cute. You know, I feel like I kind of experienced that with Lindsay and Lexi. I do their hair growing up and then they'd be like, oh, I don't like it. They take it out. My hours of work.
My hours of work.
Now,
true.
granted, it was like 500 braids and I did like 200 bobby pins in their hair, but still, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and the last one was when you used to track Charlie before you met him.
Guys.
Foursquare.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I'm Foursquare.
You guys-
Yeah, remember that? We literally watched
yeah.
him go from store to store.
And then
Okay.
we would try and find him.
Okay,
Yes.
but why was he checking in so often?
Yeah, here's
Because
the
he
thing.
got points.
Dude, that's some hoe activity.
So, okay, Foursquare was
I'm
like
just
that app
saying.
where you checked into places when you went there. It is very unsafe though, if you think of it. Like,
Right.
you check in when you get there and it's like everyone knows that you're there. And the only reason that I was even like looking at his location was because he was wasn't it the Target right by
he
us?
was right there, right
Did
by
he
us.
wanna
And
pull up?
yeah, we were all like, should we go? Should we
Well,
not go?
you know, when you're like a 14-year-old girl, like you just have like a bunch of friends on Foursquare and you're just looking at all of them. And
Right.
then
Yeah.
one male who's within a 2-mile radius of you, you're like, oh my gosh.
You have to
Which-
casually run into
Right.
them.
Obviously.
had you ever met him before? wasn't that before you
Yeah.
met him?
No,
I-
they definitely had met each other.
Yeah,
were
I wouldn't have
friends.
him on Foursquare
Yeah.
if I hadn't.
You have to be
Okay.
friends.
All right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it wasn't like creepy like that. Everyone makes it sound creepy. It wasn't creepy. It's just what you did. You just like looked at people on. It's like fine. It's like Find Mine now.
Oh, okay.
Like
All
same
right.
vibes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I have for you.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
I hope that was enough.
I'll share my stories about you at the end. Don't you worry.
And that's the end of our story segment.
Right.
So,
No,
thank
go ahead. Do you have
you.
one right now? Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
You're good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
We're ready
You
for
can go to
Lexi's.
Lexi. Yeah, I'm ready.
Like,
though.
what about Lindsay?
Oh,
Should
Lindsay's
do
next. Oh, yeah,
first?
because in the order. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lindsay's next.
Okay, let me flip here. Got my
Oh.
notes. So Lindsay, have you guys shared Dr. Lindsay before?
We're not allowed to. We're not.
What?
Right?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I don't think we've signed the release
Yeah.
Yeah.
from Lindsay.
Ooh, so that's a two.
Basically,
To
Lindsay
become-
had multiple personalities as a kid. Honestly, that's the moral of the story. I'm not even gonna
No,
lie.
she had like a character that she played.
Yeah,
She
Little,
did.
like a voice. She held her hands in a certain way. Like she had a theme song.
Her character had specialties and services that she charged
and
for.
the first time was free, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like she'd kind of flip the switch and turn into this character, and then but I do feel like she was always kind of like that.
She was.
Yeah.
For a while,
It was
and then it
just-
started to
yeah.
fade away.
Yeah.
I did get a glimpse of Dr. Lindsay this morning, actually.
Right. She
Yes.
came out. Sometimes
Yes.
she just
She
peeps
does-
out and you don't even realize.
she makes surprise appearances.
I'm like, Doctor,
yes.
is that you?
Yeah, she made a face, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah,
there
that's-
she is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like a twinkle in the eye sometimes.
It is.
Yeah.
But it was so cute because she made up her own theme song and everything for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
It was cute.
Well, so we'll go on to that. The next story is Lindsay, middle child. Lindsay was so quiet. She was a good baby, good kid, for the most part. She had
Was she silent or silenced?
she had a pacifier in her mouth all the
Oh,
time,
yeah.
so maybe she was.
I think she was silenced.
I think she was a silence.
that was really funny.
Thanks.
So we had a van. It was called the girls called it the Ann van,
Right.
and Lindsay always was in the very back. So
But she vibed.
she was fine. She was happy.
Always vibed.
It
Again,
fit.
she was silenced.
Yes.
Right. So
She didn't really have a choice.
She didn't have a choice.
So she was always in the back, so I never really heard her.
Mom didn't even know she had the child.
She didn't know
Was
she
the
was
child in the car with her?
we go somewhere. Wait, is Lindsay here?
So anyway, didn't really, hear Lindsay that often. And anyway, we had this like musical at church, and I was running late for it, and all of a sudden I'm like in the foyer and I hear this beautiful voice just singing away. And I'm like, oh my goodness, who is that? Like that voice is beautiful. And then I reach the sanctuary and I look in. It's Lindsay. Like it's her voice. I had never heard her voice before.
Because her voice was always drowned out
Yeah, it was
by all
always
of us
drowned out
singing.
by
No,
Okay,
okay,
you-
you'd heard her talk.
Right, but
You
not
Let's
like
clarify that.
just never sing.
not like sing because
Yeah.
you guys always sang
Okay,
together.
to be fair, she was the type of person that loved to do like the beats. She loves to like sing out like the drums.
Yeah.
Or, like
Yeah.
the little harmonies on the
Background.
side.
She is
was-
background
she's
vocals.
background
She's-
Yeah.
yeah. And so for her to be like main character, like
Right. She's just never really the main character.
right. And so for her to have that moment I was like, oh my goodness. Wow, her voice is amazing. Like look at her just go. So I was so proud of her, but then also that maybe makes me look like a really bad mom too.
Oh.
I don't know.
You had
That's
four.
That's a really sweet story. I would love a sweet story about me as well at some point when you get a chance.
Because all of yours were not that
Literally,
great.
Cassidy had an overload on her senses. She cried at polar bear
An
commercials.
emotional wreck.
Yeah,
She
and
stalked a boy on Foursquare.
yeah.
Like,
Don't worry. Like I said, Mom, your time will come.
I'll
Justice will
think
be
of something,
served.
Cassidy. I'll think of something.
Okay.
Because you have a big heart. You have a really big heart.
You're
I feel
like
like
the
this is
Grinch.
forced.
It's just
Right.
like, what's the
At least I
Grinch
don't look
thing?
like the Grinch.
But sometimes, yeah. Wow. I'm gonna say
She was trying to say, yeah, I had to.
Wait, what's the Grinch thing though? Where it's like the heart is too small.
Yeah, his heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, like because he's so bitter.
He shrunk.
Yeah.
It shrunk.
It
Yeah.
shrunk. Yeah.
After
it's like
Cindy
10,
Lou Who,
isn't
or-
it 10 times too small?
Yeah.
10 sizes too
Yeah,
small.
but the Grinch saved Christmas, so like slay.
Yeah. At the end of the day.
The thing with Cassidy is like her heart is so big, so like she's always there for like the big stuff. Well, she's always there, period. But like
confused.
sometimes with the little stuff, like I asked her for a chai and she was like, no.
Yeah.
But like the big stuff, like if I
Yeah.
right, but like the big stuff, like, hey, can you give me a free photo shoot for? Yeah, sure. But I want a chai.
That is
no.
true. That
You know,
is
so
true.
it's like,
Right.
It's just
I think
little
she knows
things.
her worth. She's like,
oh,
like, you know, like,
Yeah, you can't have it all.
no, she's
can't-
like, I am valuable. Like, I'm worth the big stuff. You can do your little things.
I can see that.
Sure.
Like
Whatever
yeah.
way you want to spin it, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
Are you ready, little Lexi?
No.
almost
but
called
go.
her Lindsay.
La,
There
la,
we
la, la,
go.
la.
That's just how it works. Okay, go ahead. Talk about how amazing I was.
You are and were so amazing. I have to get my. Let's see
All my
here.
stories are better than yours.
Mhm.
Oh, she is there
So
something written
the
down?
first one, I mean, there's a couple that I'm debating between. They're both pretty funny. We would go to family camp with some friends of ours, and Lexi was maybe 5, just a little pipsqueak.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Honestly, couldn't have said it better
That is
myself.
the perfect
she was
word
just
to
a little
describe her.
pipsqueak. She like was like I couldn't ever find like pants to fit her, so she always wore leggings. That was the
Right.
only thing that fit you
Dang.
because you were just so little, but you had such a personality
You're skinny.
all the time.
Skinny queen. Still don't got that
And
dumpy.
anyway, she had seen me probably put on like a pair of Spanx or something, and but
I'm
back
sorry.
but back in the day, it was called a girdle. And so we were like,
Oh, I
we were
remember this.
playing like games with our family friends, and she looks over at Mr. Beale, he wasn't, I don't know, he wasn't chubby. He was, just, she looks at Mr. Beale and she goes, Mr. Beale, do you have a girdle on? And he was just mortified.
I
And-
thought it was Mr. Beale. You need
Yeah,
a
I said
girdle.
we need a girdle.
Correct.
Oh, you need a girdle?
Yeah, I said,
Oh.
Mr. Beale, you need a girdle.
Oh, no.
I remember.
Even worse.
Yeah.
It didn't go very well after I said it.
No. So that was,
Yeah, Lexi was always speaking her mind, but honestly,
Was the girdle needed? I mean, I'm kidding. Yeah.
and then they decided it should be called a myrtle for men.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
He needed a myrtle.
Yeah.
Okay. That
And
wasn't
then-
that bad.
skims before it's time.
It's
that,
true.
That wasn't so bad.
No. Sounds like something I do. I'd probably still say it and then be like, shoot.
So you always had the confidence though, and you were the youngest, so you hung around like people that were in college and like
Got to stand your ground.
you did, and you always stood your ground. And you ran up across this college aged kid who was a family friend of ours, and he kind of made you mad, and you just looked right at him and you go, "Whatever, major loser."
Yeah.
As like 6 years old, and you just walked away.
Again, that was
And-
Camp Rock.
Oh, and this college kid, this young man, just stood there with his mouth open, like, what just happened?
And honestly, say less.
This tiny pipsqueak.
I know.
Yeah,
This
she
tiny-
ate.
She just like,
I
left.
always left men speechless at a young age. It started at 5. What can I say?
left them speechless. That's true.
That is horrible.
You did.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about Lexi growing up is Lexi always was convinced she had some disease.
Okay.
Always.
This
Like
is the one we've been waiting
You know,
for.
there's a name for that now.
Right.
Yeah.
They have words for that.
Yeah. So, for instance, she thought she had leprosy.
I
No. Yeah,
Okay.
you did. You thought you had leprosy. I have a list.
It fit.
Just more recently, she thought she had tuberculosis.
How recently?
Last year,
We did hear brain tumor at one point.
brain tumor. Let's see, acid reflux is what I heard
If
yesterday.
everyone knew my symptoms, they would understand.
Acid reflux.
Acid reflux.
I do have acid reflux. Thank you.
Lexi, please note how loud your microphone
No, don't worry. I
describes.
turned her down.
Okay.
She's been turned down.
And the thing of it is, your dad is like always behind you,
Yeah, honestly,
always behind
he
you,
always feeds into
100%.
it.
Yeah,
And
he's like,
so-
you're right. You need to go to the
Right.
doctor.
So, in particular, she was like, I have a brain tumor. I have brain cancer. I know I do. And your dad says to me, you need to take her to a doctor.
Well, I needed to
And,
go.
yeah, and I was like, oh my, I am not going to keep either one of them quiet unless I take her to the doctor. So, we'd been to the doctor several times for several different things. And bless Dr. Wayland's heart. I bring her to Dr. Wayland. And Dr. Wayland is probably close to retirement. The sweetest.
That was the day she retired, actually.
Oh, right. And I bring Lexi in and I just stand back to the back and
There's no way I told her I actually had brain cancer.
yes, Dr. Wayland walks in and she's like, oh, dear Alexis, how are you today? And Lexi's like, I'm fine. And she's like, so I hear you have a brain tumor. And
Oh my gosh.
And Lexi's like, it kind of hurts back here.
It hurt.
Yeah, it hurt back here. And she's like, and Dr. Wayland went totally into this. She played along. She's like, well, let me check you out. So she felt it. And meanwhile, you have your head turned. She looks at me and she's winking at me. I love
this is
Dr.
just cruel.
I just love
That
Dr.
is so
Wayland
rude.
because she was just like, well, Lexi, this is, I understand your concern, but more than likely you don't have a brain tumor.
More than likely, so there was a chance.
And so she just, not dismissed it, but she just calmed your fears and it was all good. What do you have to say, Lex?
She's speechless.
I'm
Yes.
speechless.
Mom, you leave her speechless, actually.
Ooh, I leave you speechless.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, first of all, if you're watching on YouTube, my mom's
Stop.
phone just flashed.
Uh-huh.
And that is why I turned it off
Right.
on her.
Turned what? Oh.
Your flashing phone.
I know. I didn't realize I brought it in here with me. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Just turn it off.
And
Yeah.
now she won't give any of us her passcode.
Yeah, literally, I was
Into her
locked out of her
phone.
phone.
I changed it.
I'll
Yep.
just ask Dad.
The dad doesn't know it.
What?
Oh,
that's
dang.
that's unhealthy.
Dad,
That's
I'm
getting
sleeping.
toxic,
I'm
not gonna
sleeping, and
lie.
all of a sudden I'll see my phone in front of my face. Dad's Dad's
Dang,
in
he's
it.
going through it while you're asleep.
Yeah, because he had
That's
to make
getting
he had to
toxic.
make an appointment for my car, on my app.
Oh, what a
So
kid.
he's I'm like, why is my phone in front of my face?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So
That is funny.
Okay, so you told your stories.
yeah,
Do we have any stories about Mom? I'm trying to hoe her, but I can't really think of any stories like that yet. But what I will say is Mom was always, if we ever did anything mischievous, Mom was always behind it.
Right.
Like
It was
Mom,
never like us against Mom. It was always us with Mom.
yeah, if anything, it was like Mom encouraged.
Right. She'd plant the seed.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
And if she didn't encourage it, she at least didn't stop it. Right. So,
True.
I mean,
she's like,
yeah, many times we have, TP'd people, in the middle of the night, and she will drive you.
Yeah.
In fact, she will go buy the toilet paper and
Yes.
she'll look up the best route to get home. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So,
I remember that time I got mistaken as Luke Beal.
yeah.
What?
because
Basically,
she
yeah.
put all of her hair
I
in
had-
like a hat.
I had the hoodie on, and we're all black, and we were all running away because we were getting chased from
Yeah.
after toilet papering.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
nobody knew
yeah.
it was me.
Uh-huh.
That was great.
Okay, so I guess a question that
Yes.
all the listeners are
Oh,
wondering.
no.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy that they would wonder this, but who's your favorite, would you say?
Oh. Yeah.
That's yeah.
That's you all are my favorites at different times.
Yeah.
Right. But lately, would you say lately? who's your
Lindsay.
favorite.
Aw.
Right.
Lindsay came home from Nashville.
And she did
Yeah.
the dishes for
And
you once.
yeah, she did the dishes.
Yeah.
Right.
I looked over and I was like, wait, what's happening?
It's okay. We accept that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
let her.
I would just like to speaking of doing the dishes. So Lindsay does the dishes and it's like, oh, Lindsay, you're
Yes.
just the most perfect daughter
Mhm.
ever.
Yes.
Okay. I go to work early, clean the whole kitchen and do the dishes while my mom's not there and leave. No one even she goes through this list of people of who she thinks did the dishes. I didn't even cross her mind. Okay.
She goes,
I didn't even.
Rico.
Yeah. She even talked to me about it. She was like, she's like, your father cleaned up the whole house and did the dishes and I was like, no, I did that. So I would just like to
Was
say.
this recently?
So the reason I did that is because that's not common for you. That
Okay.
was the first time. or maybe second. So it's highly unusual for you to do that. But now I am fully aware that you are capable of doing that. So you will be on my radar.
Oh, Lexi's always been capable.
It's not that I'm not capable. It's that I use other. I'm very strategic.
You are.
I'm a
So-
strategic girl.
So the thing with Lexi growing up is Lexi always had the older sisters. So even as a baby, everything was done for her. She like was thirsty. Like she just go like, and someone would have like a sippy cup in her hand.
Most likely Lindsay.
Most likely Lindsay. So that's how you were trained. So
always
now
been
you're
taken
like,
care of.
now you sit on the couch and you're like,
She puts her arm
yeah,
up.
just put your arm up and you like close your eyes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
do that. Now I have to like beg because you guys are getting ruder as you get older.
Yeah, because we're done with your shenanigans.
Oh, I like that word, shenanigans.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a story about mom that was like right at the front of my brain,
Ooh.
and I'm trying to remember what it was. It was funny.
Yeah, why am I completely blanking on 25 years
See,
of my life
that's
with
why
you?
you like have notes.
I know.
you
I
Oh.
literally
Very
just
true.
had it
Yeah.
right here.
So one thing I can say is one of the reasons I am the way that I am is because, of course, the way that I was raised.
Yeah.
And so one thing I have done, and maybe this is too deep for this, but it's kind of like looked at, like my mom had two best friends growing up, like when I was growing up. So,
Just to let you
Like-
know, your mom listens.
oh, I know.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
wanna let
Oh,
you
I
know.
know.
Lexi's
So
like,
absolutely.
just a
Because
disclaimer.
sometimes we start beef. So
I'm
just
not.
wanna
No,
let
this
you
is no
know.
beef, and I've told my mom this because I love my mom deeply. She's like my best friend. But I looked at each one of my mom and her best friends, and like looked at like what do I like best about them? Because everyone has their best parts. Like the best thing about my mom is the way she has relationships with people and the way she prays for people. Like, and the only way you can pray for people is if you have relationships with them.
Yeah.
And she is so intentional that way. And so, like, if I'd encourage you guys anyway, it's just to do that. Like, look at, like, because I have good parts, but I also have parts that aren't the best or that maybe need work, So, look at the people that are in, like your friend Julie, Danielle, like an amazing lady, and I know that you glean so much from her, but take those parts of all those other people as well.
Totally.
And try to be that person of the conglomeration of all those people.
Mom came on to preach today.
She did.
She said, "I'm ready.
I'm ready. Here
I'm
I
ready.
am. Yeah.
That was
Preacher
so
mom.
good."
But I thought maybe that would give you guys time to think of a story about me.
Oh, you were stalling.
Okay, so that was all cool.
One thing about mom is she came to name drop. You've name dropped like 12 people.
Yeah,
You,
we don't do that on the pod.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's okay.
You can name drop, but you have to give context because then it's confusing for the listeners.
Yeah, like no
So
one knows
sorry.
who Julie is.
Yeah,
No, it's
or
okay.
Luke Beal.
She
Yeah.
just said enough though. Like you don't need to know. She just said it's someone I look up to.
Yeah, it's someone that she looks up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
That's
And
fair.
the Beals are
Stupid.
family
Why don't you ever
friends. I
bring
think
that up?
everyone would knows our family friends are the
Yeah.
Beals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we've said that.
Yeah.
I've told the story about mom with the parking on our way to LA at the airport and her just dropping us off saying she'd meet us in LA.
Yeah.
What is the story of you with your permit driving to Chicago, hitting something and never telling dad?
Oh my.
What is that story?
Okay.
That's a good story.
Okay. So basically, I was 15
Dad
with my
doesn't
permit.
listen.
Yeah.
That's true.
And we told dad.
Sort of.
Eventually.
I was
like 6 months later.
yeah, no, this is literally like only a couple months ago we told him. So I was 15, I had my permit, and we were driving to Chicago because Lindsay had a volleyball tournament
And
there.
I had been sick the entire night before throwing
Yes.
up. I
Yeah.
was so
yeah,
sick.
so it was not ideal for me to drive to Chicago.
Right.
But you got to do what you got to do. You're 15-year-old. Technically, you were in the car with me,
I
so
was.
I could drive.
Yes.
Wait,
So-
you had your permit, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then it was legal. Yeah, you're 15.
I mean, it was legal, but like,
No, she
But-
was illegally
but not-
driving.
it was like literally like my third time driving.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we're going on the highway and like there was construction, so it was really confusing as to like if like what way the highway stayed on or didn't, whatever. And so there was an exit, but it looked like it was the main road too. So I like look at my mom and I don't think we had it mapped out. Like, I don't know. I think you were telling me how to get there.
Yeah.
And I looked at mom and I was like, Mom, which way do I go? And she pointed straight ahead, but her finger curves a little bit. Like her finger has natural curvature.
Because she broke it.
Right. And so I start to take the exit because I think she's pointing, to exit. And then she starts yelling at me as I'm exiting. She's like, no, keep going straight. And we're like in like the midst of like on the way to Chicago. So there's just a lot happening. So, and this is proof I had my permit. Instead of taking the exit anyway, I swerved back onto the highway. And there was a construction cone.
Several.
Yeah. And thank you, Mom. And I hit one with the passenger side mirror. Okay. And we like hit it and we think, oh, like nothing
happened. We're good.
We're fine. We get to Chicago and we get out and we see the whole casing on the back of the mirror, the shell of it was gone.
It was missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I hit it and like the thing came off and we were like, oh no, what are we going to do? Dad's going to kill us, whatever.
I said, please don't tell your father.
Yeah. So basically, we are on our way home from Chicago and we decide, we're just going to get off this is like a day later.
Yes.
We're going to get off at the same exit. We're going to turn around and see if we can find the casing. Well, sure enough, I think it was you, Mom.
Yeah, but how did we were like, I don't even know how we remembered where the exit was.
I mean, we just look at the really confusing area and that was it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we get out of the car and Mom finds it. I have a video of her like holding it up and a picture of me holding it too. And we snap it right back onto the car.
Yes.
And it looks flawless.
Right.
And we never told Dad.
He never has.
Until
he one day, of course, is looking at the car and was like, well, how did this get scratched? Because
Yeah,
there
for
was like a
real.
little scratch on the back. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I have no idea. That's really weird. Maybe one of the kids hit it with a bike.
right.
You know?
Dang, you're a liar.
Oh, should we tell the
That's
butt dent
crazy.
story too?
The what?
The butt dent.
Cassidy's done a lot of damage to cars.
Remember? Okay, you're one to talk. Literally,
Right. I
Danielle-
literally have a hole in my car right now.
Yeah, for real. But you guys remember Dad's Jaguar, like
Oh, yeah.
his prized possession? We were playing Foursquare, and I ran into the back part of the car.
With her butt.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was like my butt area, I guess. And then we get done playing Foursquare, and there's just a dent on the side of it.
Dude, from your butt?
From Cassidy's butt.
Yeah, and
guys didn't know
tell me
this?
I don't have a dumpy.
I was going to say, I didn't know you got it like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Danielle
was
loves to
bad.
hit things. Remember when she hit Grandma's car
Oh,
at Vantage?
that was awful. Yeah.
I
And
don't.
You don't
I
remember
literally
either?
don't remember.
You backed up.
Dude, no.
I don't.
Okay, you want to know how many times this has happened? You always claim you don't remember this story.
No, what car was it with Grandma's? What car
It was at Vantage.
No, but like, what was I driving?
The van, I think. And you hit her Maxima, the black. I made you pay for it. You should remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
What I remember hitting at Vantage was I like hit the side.
Of
And
the
you hit the
garage.
mirror.
Yeah.
And
Like,
you
yeah.
hit
Yeah.
the garage.
That's
Didn't
what I
you just hit the
remembered.
garage
I
in
didn't
general?
remember, but now I do.
Yeah.
But those other two are like
drove
what take up
straight
the
into-
Yeah.
brain space.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, you guys try taking your driving test with the Ann van.
Right? That
It was
hard.
hard.
It
I had a
was.
backup camera.
Whatever
Yeah,
you wanna
the
say.
Ann van was a hard car to
Is
drive.
that why you failed the first time?
Yes, no, literally, because also I'd never practiced parallel parking before, and then they were like, "Go ahead, parallel park," and I was like, "I've never practiced
Well,
this
finally,
before."
finally, we got you a smaller car and you did fine. But
Yeah.
that's like you're the first. So like I had to learn. It's not ideal for you to do it with a minivan.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
really
She's
hard.
the
Should have got a
first.
rental car for that day.
So true.
A Tesla.
Tesla?
Park it
Right.
out.
With a take your hands
Back
off
in
the
like
wheel, honey. It just
2005. When did you?
no. What was it like? 10?
What?
How old were you?
I don't know.
When I got my license,
1995. You were born.
I got my license in 2011.
Okay,
Who was the best baby?
Lindsay.
Oh wait, of us in the room.
We knew it was
Okay.
Lindsay.
None of you.
Really?
You were all hard.
Mm.
That's okay though.
Who was the nicest kid? Like the sweetest? Like, aw.
Yeah, that makes you
Like of us in the room.
Probably Danielle.
because she was the first and everything she did was perfect.
Well, she was
Right.
just always happy. She was always singing and just a really happy kid. And Lexi, you always had energy too. You were always happy, but
She said energy.
yeah. You-
Pipsqueak energy.
okay, what other questions do you have? Next.
Why'd you marry Dad?
Ooh. Because he was my best friend.
Yeah.
She wasn't trying to though.
Well,
Yeah, you were trying to play the field
You
for a
said
little
no.
longer.
You tried to break up.
I did. Yes. And your dad said, why? And I said, I mean, I couldn't tell him why. What am I going to tell him?
Yeah, that's always an awkward combo.
Right. So, yeah. So I just decided to marry my best friend.
And it worked out.
Good
did.
advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the reason you have 4 girls.
Yeah.
Because the male chooses the
It's
gender.
true.
That's so
Very
true.
true. Yes. I always thought I wanted all boys.
Because you were raised with boys.
I was raised with brothers. Yeah. So
How many people did you date before Dad?
a date. I mean, several dates.
She said,
Yeah.
I'm learning that's Mom's default when she's avoiding.
We actually ordered.
Growing up, as I lay in my bed at night and self-reflect about things, I've thought about how you really do deflect a lot of questions. You ask questions and you just never actually give an answer and move on.
Oh,
That's called wisdom.
No.
well, you can't you would need more therapy if I gave you all the straight answers.
Well, would I, or do people need the truth?
Ooh.
Oh.
Is the truth therapy?
Interesting
I
thoughts.
don't think so. Not as children.
Yeah.
You need to protect your children.
I'm 20.
We're not children anymore.
No, you're right, Mom. As children, you can only, developmentally, it depends on what stage you're at.
Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
but I'm talking
wise.
about now. I'm talking about how she deflects now.
Yeah, for
Oh,
real.
do I deflect now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't you love
She
getting
doesn't
called
even care.
out? It's so rude.
It's
what
not
about
rude. It's sometimes I think that we're too comfortable not saying the truth to each other.
oh.
Why would
Ooh.
we not say the truth to each other?
I dated several people. I had to date several people to find the right one.
Right.
And that's totally okay.
There's several no's before you get the yes.
Absolutely.
That's so true.
Yes.
And period.
And the thing of it is I would date guys, but I might date him for 2 or 3 months and be like, no.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I was very particular.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, obviously.
Okay.
Definitely not.
What are
Definitely
some
not.
things that you're proud of? When you see us as kids and you're looking at us, what are some of the things that you're wow, that makes me so proud that they're my kid? You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Are you trying to make
I
her
need
cry?
so many more episodes for this
Aw.
question.
Great answer.
Yeah.
She's deflecting.
No,
She's like, shoot, I have to think really fast.
I'm stalling and deflecting. I am so proud of each one of you. You guys are, first of all, your relationships with each other, your faith. You just make your dad and I so proud. And I am not going to cry.
Right.
So I am
Think about something
holding,
else.
I am holding it together
Really?
here.
Sorry, I didn't think this question was a crying question.
Bro, you ask your
Are you
mom
kidding
what,
me?
are you
My
joking?
word.
What
what
you're
are you
proud of?
most proud of with your children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think just watching you guys make great choices in who, first of all, your husbands. I would have
Now she's going to cry.
they're awesome. Yeah, I got my sons finally.
Yeah.
I wanted boys. I have my boys. So proud of who you guys married. I'm proud of the choices that you make. And also just who you each are individually. You are fully who you are and you each embrace who you are. And I love that so much.
It's funny watching back on all these home videos lately because you can really see our personalities so clearly, even just in these 3-minute videos of just each of us and how we are
Right.
Lexi's over here doing jumping jacks and literally running in circles and screaming her head off. And Danielle's over here bossing people around.
Right.
And Lindsay and you are
Lindsay's-
hugging.
Yeah, me and Lindsay are hugging and hiding in a corner and trying
Right.
to just be quiet. It's just, it's just funny.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Okay, who is the most difficult kid? Through and through, all years.
All the years.
And whoever you say is not going to get offended.
Because
Yeah.
it's probably me. Don't you think?
No.
Really?
No. As your older years, we went through a few things, but not your younger years. And I think, every kid goes through something. Every
I'm sorry, did you hear that?
The mic did.
Hopefully the mic caught
I
it.
want
That
to-
was the point.
I am premising my
Your
answer.
answer.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm doing. Every child goes through a time,
She's staring right at you, Lex.
right? It was probably you, Lexi.
Really?
Yeah. It's probably you. You
That's okay.
challenged me a lot. Like you really wanted to be independent and you just, you're trying to just be your own person. You're like the last one with me directly.
Yeah.
Like you were left at home with me alone against your wishes. All your sisters left you.
True.
So
You make it sound like we intentionally left Lexi.
but that's how she would say it.
Really?
No, I wouldn't say they intentionally left
No,
me.
I don't know. No, but I've heard you say that. Like they all left me.
Yeah, you have said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I knew it wasn't intentional, but it was
Right.
just different.
Right.
Like, obviously, you guys got to go to college and stuff, I'd hope.
Yeah, and that's okay because that's how you felt. You felt
Yeah.
like we left you, which is okay that you felt that way. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't
Anyway,
know.
this
It's
is turning
'cause
into
we kinda
therapy.
did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low key. But okay. What other questions do we have?
I don't know if I have any other for mom. Do you?
If you could, I just one more.
'Kay.
Maybe. Okay. If you could, like, go back to yourself as like maybe like when you're around our age, like mid-20s, like what would you tell yourself then that you wish you would have known? Because I think a lot of our
Ooh.
listeners they're like mostly our age, like between like 18 to 29. So
Yeah.
like what would you tell yourself, baby Anne? I mean, at this point you also had kids. 'Cause you had
Right.
kids younger, but
First thing, buy real estate.
there you go.
Girl.
Buy,
I mean, there you go.
Buy real estate. But no, most importantly, really value your friendships that you have and be intentional with those close relationships that you have. Because like looking now, like we know, of course we're going to make more friends, but like looking back at these home videos, like those friends, like those are our forever friends. And when did we meet them? We met them when we like your age.
Yeah.
And they're still our forever friends. And like friendship is so like valuable and hard just to make friends in the future. So just really value those and be intentional on keeping those friends.
Yeah. That's good, Mom.
Yeah, very
That's really
wise.
Very good advice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
almost like you're our mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
we all get mad at people and we all like, I
Yeah.
don't know, go through things, but is it really worth like not being in contact with that person anymore
Totally.
because of something small?
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
So that's your sign to go call your friend that you're fighting with right now.
Yeah. Is it really? What do you say, Lexi? It's not
Is it-
that serious.
It's just really never that serious.
What's that really wise piece of
not
advice
really-
that you have?
Lock in because it's really not that serious.
Lock in.
Wow, we all talk like Lexi.
We do.
What can I say? Trendsetter.
Well, Mom, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah,
Happy
Awesome.
Mother's Day.
Thank you.
You're
Love you guys.
so lucky that lie detector test did not work.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
we'll bring you back.
I'll tell you what, if it were me, if I were you, I would have still put that on me because I would not have known if it was working or not. And that would have been the funniest
That
thing
actually
ever.
would've
Yeah,
been
that would have been. We
funny.
should have just like
Just
pretended.
like a fake lie detector, I would have
Yeah.
totally fallen for it.
Yeah.
That's so true.
All right. Well,
We live and you learn.
forget this information.
So
We'll pull it out in a
maybe,
minute.
you know what would be really fun is to do it to Dad.
Oh.
That would be fun.
Dude,
Just
I
a
just feel like
fake
that
one.
dude wouldn't even lie.
No.
Like he would just say it no
he
matter
would be
what.
too quick with his answers too. Like it might hurt us
Yeah.
emotionally.
He'd probably just take it off and walk away and go watch some TV.
put on Sports Center.
Like there'd just be nothing.
you just hear the Star Wars theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching our episode. And make sure you subscribe and listen and follow our Instagram.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.